Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie and this is my husband Jeremy.
Hello.
So we have a podcast called Just Interesting People Podcast, and at the end of last year we did a 2020 recap, so we want to do the same this year and talk about our year 2021. A lot has happened, so we're going to be talking about all of this on the podcast. So we're going to have the microphone between us, we're going to probably be talking to each other rather than looking straight into camera. But yeah, hope you enjoy this episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Just Interesting People podcast. My name is Rosie and I'm here with my co-host and husband Jeremy as usual. Thank you so much for being here today. Today it's just us two, no special guests. We're going to be doing our 2021 recap.
Yes, like we did last year, we are doing a recap of this, again, eventful year. I think last year, on December 31st, 2020, we all hoped that 2021 was going to be a normal year after this 2020 craziness, and some normality came back, I guess, but it's still a kind of a mess globally, and on a more personal level it's been also a very complicated, eventful, unexpected year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just going to recap a bit what we went through, what we've been up to, the highlight, the lesson learned, the ups, the downs, and maybe try to see what 2022 is gonna be, even if I don't think it's gonna be going as planned. I've got a feeling right now.
We have no idea.
No. Where do we start? 2021 started very busy because we started the yoga teacher training.
We were in Miami
for
a start because we're not at the moment.
Yeah. We're recording from Peru right now.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a year, but yeah, we started with yoga teacher training with the Warrior Flow Foundation, the Warrior Flow, with Adrian and Dennis and Sari, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so much more than we thought it was going to be. We thought we'd learn about yoga poses and about how to teach a class.
Become super flexible.
But we learned so much more. It was so interesting. We developed as people. I feel like we had such good conversations with the group that we had about disabilities, about race, about ableism, about just so many different topics that are kind of nothing to do with yoga, but also everything to do with yoga. And it was so interesting that, like, just how much we learned.
Yeah. Now, we obviously learned about yoga and about the practice by itself, the movement, which was interesting to learn about the health, the posture, the form, and stuff like that. But yeah, everything around was personally what I will remember, I think, long term. All the talks about trauma, about triggering people, about being careful with your word because you never know if, what you say or what you do is going to have an impact on someone and stuff like that. And if you can avoid to have someone going through some pain and stuff just by using another word, that is huge. That is huge. And yeah, just plenty of things like that about autism. We had Angelique on a podcast, and that was really interesting. Also, we learned so much from her because that was something really new for me. All I know about autism was what we see on TV, and it's not really a good representation, as we learned about what is it actually like. Accessibility as well was really interesting. So many different topics. That was pretty cool. It was also very challenging because that was 11 weeks, right? 11 weekends. So all our weekend from the first one from 2021 to like end of March.
From January, you said.
From January to March, we basically every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 8 a.m., 6 p.m. Non-stop. So
it was exhausting, especially because you were working full time.
Plus doing the podcast, plus doing all these other things that we're doing on the side.
I would just sleep on the Monday. I was like, I'm having Monday off, I'm going to sleep all day, and then you'd have to be back to work. And
so that was intense. For us.
I'm glad we did it though.
Oh yeah.
Because we did it with teachers that we know, and you work with them as well. So it was people that we know. And it wasn't just like a random teacher training in like, I know a lot of people go to India or go to different places to do them, but it was great that we could do it at home in our own space, have our own food and breakfast and lunch and things like that. And I don't know, just feel...
Yeah, I would have not done it with anyone else, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was...
And I'm really glad that we did it with Adrian Hunter and Sari and Warrior Flow, because like we said, like they created a program that was so much more than what I would call maybe a classic or a normal yoga teacher training. Even if I can't compare, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're different.
Well, they call it like a conscious yoga teacher training, don't they? So that you can basically, their idea is you can teach anyone, from like a kid to a grandma to somebody in a wheelchair, somebody who's pregnant, somebody with depression, somebody who's been in the army with trauma. Like, we should be able to technically teach everyone, which was great. And
we actually recorded some special episodes about that in April, May time, I think it was. I can link them in the show note. But yeah, we did an episode with the three of them, Adrian, Hunter, and Sari, to talk about the training. And we also did 2 extra episodes with guests that we had during the training, Diane Bondi and Jivana Heyman. And that was really cool also to carry on those conversations and to take them outside of the training so everyone can learn a little bit what we learned about. And also learn more about them as people and their history. Like, they explained a bit of it, but it was nice to kind of deep dive and talk about different things as well as the yoga. Yeah. So that was our beginning of 2021, the first quarter, basically. Yeah. And then we suddenly realized that we had only 1 month left in Miami, because at the end of April, we were leaving Miami. So we only had like 4 or 5 weekends left before packing and leaving this paradise. And why did we leave? To go traveling. Yeah, but you left your job. Because I left my job, yeah. That was another highlight of the year. April was pretty cool. It was busy because it was like packing, figuring out flights, selling stuff. Yeah, like we sold your paddleboard, we sold my roller skates, and like your studio, my whole studio, my photography studio. We were doing like photo shoot until the last minute before selling everything. Yeah, we were taking things to charity shops. We were also trying to see friends and try and just get it. Like, it was a busy month. Yeah. But it was so much fun because we had a couple of special occasions. So one of them, we had my birthday / leaving party. So I think overall we kind of like did like a day beach barbecue thing. I think it was around 30 people that kind of came and went. Yeah. A couple of people from the yoga teacher training that we hadn't really met face to face came, so that was really good. And friends from Miami, and it was really nice to see everyone. And of course I got emotional. And the boat party? Yeah, and the other one was the boat party. So it was something we wanted to do the whole time we were in Miami. We left it until about 2 weeks before we left. We were like, right, we're getting on a fucking boat. We're going to do a boat party. And I think there was, 10 of us, 12, something like 10. That. 10 of us. Had an incredible day. Again, I got emotional. I was crying towards the end of it, but it was so much fun just to be on the boat, and it was with friends who hadn't necessarily met each other as well, and everyone got on so well. Yeah. All, like-minded people, mostly entrepreneurs, I think, living in Miami, living the dream, like pushing for more. And it was just such a good group of people who we just had so much fun, great conversations, great laughs, and we were taking shots in the water, weren't we? And it was incredible. So yeah, it was really special. Yeah, the last 4 months in Miami were pretty cool. Spent a lot of time with all the people that we love there. And yeah, we enjoyed it until the last minute, nearly. If you're listening, we miss you all. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we enjoyed it until pretty much the last minute. The reason I say nearly is because that's when things started to get messed up a little bit. Yeah. I was supposed to finish my job on April 30th, and we're supposed to stay a week in Miami to just wrap it up, get our last donut, see friends, get our last, go to our last little restaurants and walk on the beach one more time and do all these little things one more time. And 2 days before I was gonna leave my job and we're gonna leave the apartment, I had a phone call from my family, so we had to change plan and we had to rush back to France. So we moved out on a Friday, and on a Saturday we were in the plane. We had to cancel our flights, change flights, get everything. That was a bit of a mess. We were already planning to leave on the 30th, but it was, we kind of had a week left of being able to chill and see friends and things, and we had our flights booked and everything was sorted, and then it was like, okay, we need to go now. Like, we can't hang around, we need to go. So it was just like, okay, changing flights, figuring out COVID stuff with getting a testing and what do we need? Do we need paperwork? Do we need sorting out paperwork and Yeah.
all these different, passenger locator forms, proof that we're married because we were going to France and I wasn't sure if I was allowed in because I'm not French, and all this
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the
But-
beginning of a lot of paper and things for traveling that we got into. So yeah, after the first 4 months in Miami, so we were back in France on May 3rd, I think. Took us a while to get there. And basically from there we spent the next 6 months in Europe between
Yeah.
France and England.
Which was kind of the plan anyway, but we'd kind of planned to go to maybe Austria to see my brother, maybe go to Marseille to see different parts of the family, go to London. It was planned like we wanted to be in Europe for summer, but not this way.
Yeah. I won't get into much detail, but basically, yeah, some things happened in my family, and I just had to be present physically there to help out. So yeah, like we were planning to go see friends in Paris, in Toulouse, in Marseille, and see Rosie's family and enjoy summer. Enjoy summer and enjoy time with everyone before packing again to go somewhere else, because we haven't seen anyone for 2 years. Pretty much after with all the COVID thing. So it was supposed to be a nice reunification moment and fun and stuff like that. But yeah, I spent 5 months at my parents'. Rosie spent in total like a bit more than 3 months. And then she went to England in the middle to spend time with her parents as well, obviously, and her grandma. But yeah, it's interesting how you make plan, you have everything sorted out. We spent like 1 year planning this break. We started planning in spring 2020, pretty much. We started saving, we started thinking about where to go, we started thinking about what would be next in life and stuff like that. And well, COVID didn't help because we couldn't go to Asia, so we had to change which country we were going to visit and everything, but I mean, that's all right. But we also, like, so many things were impacted by this unfortunate event in my family that things were very uncertain for a bit until things got better.
It was tough. Emotionally, it was tough. For me, well, I mean, it was hard for Jeremy having to go through that with his parents and, his family and things like that. It was also tough for me to spend so much time with them with such a stressful situation going on as well. So it was kind of tough for both of us, and it was not super enjoyable.
No, it's not some. I'll explain one day. It's something I would like to talk more about it, to be honest. But it's not just me.
Yeah.
It'll be something that happened to me and stuff like that. I can talk about it because it's just I'm the only one involved, and if I decide to talk about it, I'm the one have to pay the consequences or whatever. But because this is not impacting just me, it's impacting people in my family. Even if no one speaks English in my family, a few people do here and there, and I have to respect and understand that some people want to keep things quiet or don't want to have everything online. So I would like to speak about it because on a personal level, like on a psychological, mentally, emotionally level, it was really complicated, and I think explaining the context would help. But yeah, it's not totally up to me, so one day.
Is there any lessons that you learned without giving away too much or anything? Like any takeaways or anything you've thought, okay, well...
I mean, so many. One of them being you can spend your entire life planning things and it can all get shattered.
Yeah, waiting for retirement.
Yeah, you can just... Yeah, you can spend 40 years working hard to achieve something, and without you doing anything wrong or whatever, something that's totally out of your control can suddenly just destroy everything and shatter your life, and then you end up not at all where you expect it to be. And you make sacrifices your entire life to enjoy life later, and you realize that you won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's like all those years and stuff wasted for one day I will do this. When I will be retired, when I will be that, I will do this. When I have this kind of money, I will try. Like, live your life now, because tomorrow is not guaranteed, and even if you're still alive, maybe some shit is gonna happen that will fuck up all your plans, and you won't be able to do whatever you wanted to do. Like, that's been the main thing that really stuck to me, in case I needed some reminder that I don't want a normal life. I don't know, the reminder here to fuck me up a bit more. That's one thing. Taught me a lot about family, about what was the term, like family dynamic, about the impact of not sharing emotions and the impact of not communicating much. Say, I also went, I don't know, I mean, I was kind of a bit depressed at some point as well, I think. Not to a certain degree, but I mean, I had some days that I didn't want to get out of bed and stuff like that, especially when you went away and I was kind of dealing with all this shit on my own. I had some days I was like, oh, I might just stay in bed and do nothing, because I literally can't be asked with anyone right now. So yeah, it was also tough for that, to just deal with all this crap and stuff. But I also know that thankfully happened at the time in my life where I can deal with those kind of things. All the work that I've done in Miami, all those meditations, all those trainings that I've done to learn about myself and to be more in tune with my emotions and everything has been extremely helpful, because I don't think, I didn't punch any walls or whatever. When I think a few years ago I would have flipped somehow and break things, or I don't know. I think I handled it pretty okay.
You were so good.
So, no, it's been interesting actually to, see like I am way more self-aware than I was back in 2017 before that. And I can see that I handled it well and I reacted, okay to the whole thing, considering what happened. So it's nice to see also that, all this work that I've been doing, in a sense, is paying off. It's not something like when you do some like self development work, stuff like that. It's not like going to the gym and you see the muscle. You don't see like a physical change, and you don't always have the opportunity to really notice in an obvious way that the work you did is paying off and is there. When you go through something like that, you can really see it. Because everything is still in one piece around, and you didn't get mad, and you did like you can really see that, oh yeah, it was worth it, stuff like that. What else? I've learned that I'm glad that I'm with you. I'm glad that you're extremely supportive and you're always present for me, and I'm glad that we have the relationship that we have. The communication, the laugh, the everything that we have. I'm glad we have it, because when you see some other people, sometimes it's not obvious. Like when you're in a relationship, you think it's normal, but then when you see other people, you're like, we're not that bad. Like,
no, we're very,
it's
very
not about
lucky.
comparing, but like I feel really lucky. Like, I knew I was lucky to be with you, but that was a nice reminder that just in case I needed one. Honestly, the main thing is I'm gonna live my life as I want it, the way I want it, because once again I've learned that putting things to later and stuff like that, you never know. You just never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tough. Going to England for me in September was good. Spend time with you.
Before that, I spent 6 weeks in France with Jeremy and his parents, which was tough. And then I was like, I had like a weekly breakdown, didn't I?
Yeah,
where I was like,
to escape.
I was like crying and upset. I was like, I can't be here. So I left and went to England for 2 months. It was going to be like 4 weeks, and it went into 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Ended up being about 8 weeks. And I felt bad because, like I said, Jeremy was getting depressed at home because Jeremy looks after me a lot in our relationship, don't you? So, like, if I'm not well, he'll like, okay, we'll go for a walk, because I know that's good for your mental health, but then you wouldn't do the same for yourself when I wasn't there. So you won't really look after yourself. And I was like, oh, but I don't want to be with your parents, but I also want, like, I want to be with my parents, but I also want to be with you, but I want to be here. And it was a tough, like, 8 weeks being apart. But I was very busy. decided to redo a couple of the rooms in my parents' house. So they had a room that used to be an office, but they haven't used it in like 2 or 3 years. So it was just basically full of files, paperwork, books, dog stuff, because they've got a dog, like just tools.
Mess.
It was a hot mess. It was just full, and it looked so small and full, but it just wasn't being used. And I was like, we could turn this into a dressing room. So we decided to go through all of the paperwork, all of the books, all of everything, completely emptied the whole room. And we put in some IKEA wardrobes, some mirrors, some, things to make it look nice, painted the walls, got a nice rug and a plant, and basically made their office into a dressing room, which I'm so proud of. It looks so good, doesn't it, towards the end?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And then also one of the rooms, we call it Ollie's room, because he lived there for a while. It's kind of like the guest room. Again, it was full of like our kids' things, so the kids being me and my 2 brothers, our things, I don't even know, books. There was a whole bookshelf full of just like city guides of like Paris from the 90s or something. Like, it was just so old, irrelevant, just load of crap. I was like, okay, we're going to make this look nice. So got rid of all that, painted the walls, put in some, I don't think we got new furniture. We got some bedside tables from like a charity shop, but then we had drawers from upstairs that came downstairs, and, moved things around, painted that in the ensuite and made that look really nice. So that was what I was busy doing. So yeah, it was good. It was a lot though. It was a lot of work. But really enjoyed that. Love spending time with my grandma. She's 91 now, so being able to spend 2 months with her, and then I went back to France, and then I came back again for another couple of weeks.
For her birthday?
Yeah, for a birthday for about a month again. So I think I spent 3 months at home, which for me was brilliant. Like, I get on really well with my parents. Like, obviously get on well with my grandma. I love being at home. So it's shit for me to say this because you had such a shit time at home, but I had such a lovely time at home. And it was funny how it kind of affected us. You were a bit more like, I want to spend less time at home, whereas I was like, I want to spend more time at home. It was interesting how it changed our like thoughts on being at home and being with family. But I love spending time with grandma. She's just brilliant, isn't she?
She's cute.
She's so cute. So yeah, I came home for 2 months, and then went back to France for a couple of weeks, and then back again. And then both of us then came to England to see my grandma for her birthday, for her 91st. And did we spend a month there?
Yeah, a little bit more probably, yeah.
A couple of weeks, 5-6 weeks maybe. Saw my brothers. My brothers came.
Yeah, we saw everyone, which was nice.
Because my little brother and his wife. Yeah, my little brother and his wife live in London. My big brother and his wife and 2 kids live in Austria. So I haven't seen my nephews for like 2 years. So it was brilliant seeing them. Took them to the farm, and we're playing and messing around and doing all this fun stuff, weren't we? So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no, this summer was interesting to reflect on, for me, like family and also where I'm from and stuff like that. Like I feel so disconnected with a lot of people in my family, or some people, from my hometown, stuff like that.
It's more like the views of life, isn't it? Like what's important.
I have such a different life, and I have such a different mindset compared to a lot of people there. I feel I really, really disconnected to a lot of people. And going there, I don't feel like home anymore, in a sense. I don't feel I belong there anymore. I feel like I'm an alien, not even a foreigner, an alien. Like, I don't feel I speak the same language anymore. I don't know what to speak about, because what they care about, or their opinion on a lot of things in life, are so opposite to what I think, or I just don't have an interest on it. And also pretty much everything that I like in life, or that I see, they either don't understand it, or don't know about it, or think it's stupid, or
they're not interested
whatever.
either.
So it's like I feel such an alien dropped on another planet. And I recognize faces because I've seen them my entire life, and I know the place and everything, and I appreciate the view for 2 weeks. Then I realized that I feel like, I don't know, it sounds really like arrogance, but I feel like I've outgrew this place so much.
Yeah, you have, for
You
sure.
know, like, and going back there is just, are pulling me back to some weird shit that, yeah, I don't want to at all. So it's weird. Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of...
Which is weird to say that, but
Well, I'm kind of the same. I mean, when we go back to England, we literally stay at my parents' house.
talk about trauma.
And then, and we left we left the house once because Jeremy wanted to go and watch some rugby in Manchester. So we got the train, and I was like terrified on the train. I was terrified walking through Manchester. I used to go to the University of Manchester. I'd get drunk and walk home alone in Manchester. Like, I was absolutely fine. These days, though, like, even just standing on Lancaster train station, I was terrified I was going to get beaten up. Like, I was terrified Jeremy was going to get jumped. I was terrified something bad was going to happen. Like, so I completely feel you. Like, I could never move back home.
Yeah.
I could never go back to England because I think I've got... so it was trauma that, like, I would not want to...
Yeah.
Like, when I go home, it's to see my parents and my grandma, like, at their house. We'll go for a meal, maybe, but it's not, like, I'm not going to different towns.
And also it's kind of outside and it's
it's in the
quiet
countryside,
Yeah, so... No, but yeah, it's been interesting going back after, pretty much 2 years with COVID and everything. And it's been 2 years of growth and a lot of change on a personal level.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked, going back there.
It's funny as well because you don't notice the changes day to day.
No.
It's like I said with the meditation, you don't see the muscle growing, you don't see the changes until you go back to home and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
how did I used to live here? How did I used to have these conversations? How did I used to do this? I don't know, it's so...
Yeah, it's so strange, honestly. It's confusing in a way because it's people that, some of them, I mean, are in your family or some people, for decades and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
it's just life. It's just what it is. Eventually, we saw the end at the end of the tunnel. That's when I came to England, and that's when we started talk about traveling. So we wanted to go traveling beginning of September. We ended up basically delaying everything of 2 months. We left middle of November, which is fine. Just we had to change everything because COVID didn't give up. We all thought 2020 was going to be the mess and 2021 was going to be the rebirth and it's going to be all good again and everything and going to be able to enjoy life and stuff. And I think most people still didn't jump on a plane and most people didn't go back traveling and a lot of countries are still closed and stuff like that. So going to Asia just wasn't realistic. So we decided to change plan and we went to South America instead. And we picked Peru.
Yeah, and even that was a bit like, okay, so where's the cheapest flights? We can go to Peru, Brazil, or, I don't know, Colombia or something.
Yeah.
We're like, let's just go to Peru. Like, we had, like, I'd heard of Machu Picchu, seen the pictures. That's pretty much all I know of Peru. And it was like, we'll go there. That'll be fun.
Because we didn't do any research on this side of the world. We didn't really have any preference. We didn't mind going to one country rather than another. So kind of picked the cheapest flight. Also, I mean, just maybe to give more context, all the time I spent in my house for summer to help with my family had an impact on our finances and especially on our travel stash that we've been saving up for 12 months. So we were expecting to, we had a budget to go traveling and this budget was cut pretty much by half. So
that changes things.
Yeah, it just changed a little bit. Maybe, places we wanted to go and stuff like that, even if, we were probably done kind of the same. But
well, we would have done budget backpacking anyway.
Yeah, but we paid more attention to prices than we would have done, I think.
Yeah.
So, just to mention that, to give maybe a bit more context. But we came to Peru just because it was the cheapest flight. I just looked everywhere, like, okay, if we fly from Manchester, if we fly from London, if we fly from Marseille, if we fly from Barcelona, like all the nearby airport that we had. And let's see which flight is the cheapest to go in one country in South America. And we ended up doing Barcelona, Lima in Peru.
Yeah.
And boy, that was a pretty good decision.
Absolutely love it here. Peru is incredible. We had no idea. Like, all you ever see online or on Instagram in particular is people, getting a picture at Machu Picchu.
The Rainbow Mountains.
Rainbow Mountain.
And this woman holding a kid with an alpaca or a llama on
Oh,
the
yeah.
back, and she's wearing a hat.
Yeah, the alpaca.
Right.
Yeah.
This classic picture that you see everywhere.
Yeah, in Cusco. So we didn't really know what to expect. And if I'm honest, when you see tourist spots on Instagram, I almost don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Like, with Machu Picchu, I'm kind of a bit like, but do you have to go there though? Like, is it really worth seeing? But like the rest of, like, we haven't been there yet, so that'll be coming in January. But yeah, Peru has been incredible.
Yeah, so much more than what we I think expected. And by that I mean like globally, it's a big country for us, though. We big. You can travel for 12 hours in a bus and you haven't been very far on the map when you look at the whole thing. The diversity of landscape that this country has is insane.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 weeks, we've been in the capital city, which has like 8 or 9 million people. We've been to a cloud forest near the Amazon jungle, between the Andes and the Amazon jungle, where we saw like birds and monkeys, and it was like kind of like rainy because it's tropical season and rain season and stuff like that.
And it was a German settlement, so there's lots of German and Austrian like buildings and food and beers, and so it's like Germany, like a tiny German city in the middle of Peru.
And we drove through the Andes. We went up like 5,000 meters high, which is I don't know 15,000 feet high, I think, some stuff like that.
I was sick in the bus with altitude sickness.
Yeah. And we saw incredible landscapes. And we went to an oasis in a desert, like a real desert, like the Sahara, like sand dunes that are huge and
For miles.
just endless. Like, yeah, you can't even see the end. With a tiny oasis in the middle, there's natural water there somehow. At the moment, we are in Arequipa, and we have a view at the window on a volcano. Yesterday there was snow on the top. I think it melted today.
Well, there's clouds in the way as well.
But I mean, yeah, just that in 2 weeks we saw so many different landscapes. It's absolutely insane. On top of that, the food is incredible.
Yeah.
People are amazingly nice,
Yeah.
and it's fairly cheap for white European like us.
Yeah.
I like this country.
Yeah. Food, like, let's talk about the food. It's been good, but my tummy has not appreciated it. Yeah. I've either had the shits or I've not pooped in a week. So that's been fun. I'm like hungry but full, if you get my drift. But like when we were in the Oxapampa, in this like cloud forest, the host there was telling us that just along the coast of Peru, like I don't even think the whole coast, but a certain coast, like part of the coast of Peru, there's over 2,500 different types of soup. And that's not even including the soups that are inland on the Andes, you know, in the Amazon jungles, all that, all the rest of it. And there's so many different dishes and specialties. We've not had curry yet, which is guinea pig. That's on our list probably for Cusco, or here maybe if we can find it. So we're looking out for guinea pig. But we've been having lots of chicken and rice, because chofa is a thing here, which is Chinese Peruvian food. So it's a lot of kind of rice with soy sauce with then like chicken and pineapple, for example, or like sausages and things like that. There's been a lot of chicken and rice.
Yeah, it's not like extremely elaborated cuisine, you know?
Yeah, no. Well, not where we've been anyway.
Yeah, but it's good. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And yeah, after I'm sure you can find that, but we've been going to local restaurant where most of the time we are the only white people there, the only tourists. People stare at us sometimes. But I don't know. I mean, it's just cool to live how they live and experience that and try local things. And you know, like sometimes you don't understand what's on the menu or the drink, and so okay, let's just try it.
Yeah.
Now all the drinks that we had, like the chicha morada, which is a drink made from blue corn, or a drink called cebada, which I googled and I didn't understand what it was.
But it's delicious.
But it was really yummy. And today for lunch we had some mint water that kind of tastes like Moroccan tea.
Yeah, it's a bit like Moroccan mint tea, but cold.
Yeah, and yeah, that's the thing here, and it's just really cool to discover all that. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, I rather do that than Machu Picchu in a sense. There are a lot of things that we see because we also travel very slowly compared to everyone else.
Well, also, so we went to Nazca, which typically tourists will arrive in the morning, do a flight, and then leave in the evening. So they don't really, and then even then they'll sit in Mom's cafe for 6 hours waiting for the bus to come for the next leg of the tour. Well, we stayed there for 3 nights. And we
For
were,
Christmas Eve.
I was going to say we were there for Christmas Eve, so we saw the whole hustle and bustle of all the shops were open, went to the food market, and there's pigs' heads hanging and loads of fruit and veg and flowers and so many people just buzzing around getting all their last bits for Christmas. And then even the toy shops, you're only allowed a certain amount of people in per shop because of COVID, so there's people outside waiting to get in to get this toy for their kid. And
people were buying toys at 9 or 10 p.m. on the 24th.
Oh yeah,
it was so funny.
And the main square was super busy with kids on roller skates and playing with balloons and balls and bubbles, and it was so fun to see Christmas Eve in somewhere where tourists don't typically stay more than a day.
Yeah.
And I think it probably would have been, it's nice as well to see a small city. It's touristy in that people come and do the aeroplane thing, but they don't ever stay. I think it would have been different to come to Arequipa, which is it's the second biggest city in Peru, but it's still about 10 times smaller than Lima. It would have been completely different had we been in a bigger place like here. But yeah, it's this is what we love. It's a slow travel, so eating at local places, trying to stay in Airbnbs with local people, trying to understand the culture a little bit more and not go to the 5-star hotel and the posh restaurant and
just doing all the tours and everything. When we went to this oasis in Huacachina, so you're surrounded by sand dunes, and the thing to do over there is to go on those buggies, and you got to do it driving you up and down, and
it's like a roller coaster,
going fast and stuff like that. And then you can go on a board and do some sand boarding, so you go down a dune on your tummy. We haven't done that, but we did climb 2 massive dunes. I have no idea how high they are, but let me tell you, they were too high for our legs, because it's hard to climb a hill that's full of sand,
I was
made of sand.
I was crawling at one point. I was scared of falling down the sides. It was so steepy, the side.
It was steep as hell, and also the sand just suck up all your energy. So you step and you go back, and it's exhausting as hell. And the view from there was amazing. And then we decided to go down because it looked flat, to walk in a valley, and we ended up at the bottom, and it's oh shit, it's not flat at all, and it's gonna be even harder, and we had to come back up and everything, and no one does that. And yeah, I rather experience stuff like that than going on a buggy and drive like a crazy dude just to have a GoPro film I can post.
Well, that's the thing with Huacachina as well, is that most people, again, they'll go for a couple of hours. They arrive there, they go in the buggy thing, and then they go to the next spot, whereas we stayed 5 nights.
Yeah.
So it's I think our way of travel is a lot more slower paced, and just being able to actually appreciate and understand where we are a little bit more. And Huacachina is a very touristy place. There's no locals there, but it was still nice to have the time to see the sunset from this angle, and now from this angle, and then from this angle, and just do things that people don't usually do. I think that's...
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm gonna have many opportunities to go for a hike or for a 3 hours walk in the sand desert.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, after 40 minutes walking there, when you see a movie and they walk for 3 days in a desert, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's I can't believe it's real at all. I don't think you would make it 48 hours there.
No.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this country is full of wonders, full of surprises, and we enjoy it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've just arrived in Arequipa, so we're going to be here for 2 weeks, hopefully, unless plans change, which I guess brings us on to the next topic.
Yeah.
So just before Christmas, a couple of days before Christmas, my mum and dad and my grandma drove down to see my little brother in Surrey, and the first thing my mum said to my little brother was, "I can't communicate with your dad." And so after about a day or two of kind of him not understanding, and he's got hearing aids, so he's hard of hearing, and him not quite hearing things or not understanding what they were saying, he then started to not be able to speak. So they took him to hospital against his will, pretty much. And they're still not sure what's happening. They think it's either he's had a stroke or he's having stroke-like symptoms due to his illness. He's got a super rare illness. And So they're not quite sure what's happening. He stayed in hospital for 2 nights, and basically he can't communicate. So when he writes on messages, it doesn't make any sense. When he talks, he just kind of goes la 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 la, and sometimes it's better than others. That's kind of a bad example of when it's a bad moment. But he's struggling to say words, he's struggling to read, he's struggling to understand. He's just completely lost all of his communication skills. So that's been obviously very upsetting and very worrying, and I'm not sure whether we need to go home or not. So they were in Surrey, they drove back today, yesterday, if you're listening to this on the day we post it. So yeah, it's a tough one, because obviously, we, like Jeremy said, we've been planning this for over a year, like almost 2 years now. We saved up lots of money, lost half of that over summer because of whatever happened, and then had a stressful summer, and we were like, okay, now we're going to go and live our lives and have fun again. And it's been 6 weeks, 6.5, and we've just been given another, I don't want to say piece of shit, but another something to deal with. Yeah, something to deal with. So it's kind of like, I want to be in Peru, I want to be backpacking, I want to be traveling, I want to be exploring and taking photographs and trying new foods and doing all this fun stuff. But at the same time, it's hard because pretty much all day I'm thinking about what's going on at home and my dad, and if he's well, and what's happening, and is it worse or better, or like, what can I do to help from here? Well, nothing really. I mean, I don't have the finances to get him specialist help tomorrow. I'm not minted, and I can't be there to help with food or clothes washing or just general housekeeping things, or and it's just hard. It's just tough because it doesn't affect just me as well. It's me and Jeremy, and I've said, had we been in France or in Miami, I'd be home already, and I'd just be like, I'm going home, I need to be there, you stay in Miami or France or wherever we are in the world and carry on with your job, and I'll be back when I can be. Because it's kind of what we've done. Yeah. My grandma was in hospital, I went home, and my dad had cancer, I went home, and it's kind of what we do is, typically I go home and be with my family, and it's so tough because at the moment it's not just me that needs to fly home, it's both of us, because Jeremy's not going to, I mean, you might do, but he's not likely to travel Peru while I'm at home dealing with my dad who can't communicate. So it's like, it's both of us have to up and leave, and it's just hard, and I don't know what we're going to do at the minute. And my dad always says to me, like, you be happy, you stay in Peru, you travel. Like, he wants me to enjoy my life and get on with it and pretend like everything's normal, which is fine, but it's still very, very new. It happened like last week, so it's still very new. It's going to be hard on my mum not being able to communicate with him. It's hard on him not being able to communicate with anyone. And there's also my 91-year-old grandma who lives at home, so mum's got to look after her as well. And it's just a lot.
Just asking every day when we call her, when are you coming home, Rosie?
I know, she misses me. I mean, I miss her too, but she misses me so much. And every time, so when are you coming home then? Springtime, I'm coming back in summer. Oh, that's so long away. Can you come back sooner? Which, I don't know. So that's been happening with me. So, I've been vlogging the whole trip. So all my videos, all our travels have been on YouTube, and I've been, taking lots of photographs and video and everything. And even the last couple of days, I've just not wanted to vlog because I'm just obviously, my mind's not in it, and I want to be here and traveling, but obviously I want to be at home and help my family. But then I feel like I should already be home, and why aren't I already there? But then I'm not, and am I actually going to be helpful if I'm there, or is it just going to be another person to look after? It's a lot.
Yeah, not easy once again.
So
it's one thing after the other.
The plan was to stay in Arequipa for 2 weeks, and then go to Puno, which is on Lake Titicaca, which is one of the highest lakes in the world or something, altitude-wise, for about a week, and then spend 2 or 3 weeks in Cusco, and then move on to either Bolivia or Argentina or Chile, depending on borders, depending on COVID, depending on everything that's going on. And now I'm like, I don't even know if we're going to be at home next week or if we're going to be here next week. So
yeah, once again, you can make plans for as long as you want. There are things you can control in your life, but there are things also you cannot, and that you have to just deal with.
Yeah.
And it's a tough one as well, because there's also what people see, and it's also what we see, in a sense that, the way you present it, I'm just here traveling and stuff like that. I mean, it is traveling, but it's also a long-term plan that we save money, we travel to see the world, but also to be in a place where our saving will last us longer. which is going to help us to work towards building your YouTube channel, growing the podcast, growing Warrior Flow TV, building hopefully multiple streams of income. So by the end of our journey in 2022, hopefully, we could be financially independent.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just see us as, oh yeah, they're just traveling and being around. Like, no, we also try to spend hours working, and we're not just traveling and taking pictures and doing nothing. Like, we're trying to create a life that we want for ourselves. And we need, in a sense, that we need to be traveling to create this life.
Like the amount of time and energy I've spent on my YouTube, and then especially because when we were in Oxapampa, my laptop stopped working, and then again that changed all our plans. I was going to try and get it fixed. It was going to cost probably 2,000-3,000 euros. It was just crazy. So I think I'd filmed and edited about a week's worth of content. Obviously lost all that, so then I had to go back and re-edit the videos already edited. I lost about a week's worth of content, but we're now sharing Jeremy's laptop, which means that when I'm working, he's sat doing nothing, and when he's working, I'm sat there doing nothing. So working now is also going to take twice as long, because we can't just work 2 hours at the same time. It's like I work 2 hours, you work 2 hours. It takes us 4 hours to do the same amount of work. But like the amount of time and effort and energy I've put into my YouTube, and like, we're not going to go out this afternoon after recording this because I need to edit it by tomorrow. Whereas had we just been travelling, we'd be out visiting things. So like we are, making sacrifices in terms of our travel to try and build my YouTube channel, to try and build some income for you to work on your projects. And like we're doing all these things so that we can be financially independent. But then I think people just see us as just travelling.
Yeah.
Which is fine because we are just travelling, but we're travelling with a mission and like a purpose.
Now, we obviously travel because we want to travel, but it's also because when we discussed this, just 1,000 euro, $1,000 is going to last you longer in Peru or in Asia than in Miami.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So this is also one of the reasons we decided to go traveling, is because also our saving will last longer if we travel. And I know that can sound counterintuitive because usually traveling costs a shit ton of money, but as we're living in a city with a high cost of living, actually traveling for us is cheaper. So we're not just traveling and relaxing and spending time by the pool. We're actually spending a lot of time working. And yeah, most of you guys, people don't see that. But yeah, it's a very thought strategic break that we're having.
Yeah.
And we're not just fooling around and just having fun things. We are, but it's not just that. And it's not the obvious part. It's not the thing that we talk about every day and stuff like that. But we do spend a pretty decent amount of time on it. And and obviously family is more important. And yeah, if we go back, we'll have to go back, and we'll find our way. I mean, we always do.
I mean, it's not like we're going back for 10 years. We'll go back for a month or two until things settle down, and then we'll go off travelling again, and we'll just start again. And
yeah, we'll figure out. But it's emotionally not easy to deal with, as you can only imagine. Family stuff are never fun.
Yeah. So, other things to talk about. My YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm finally monetized. I'm going to be doing a video on my YouTube channel talking about how much I've earned my first month. So go and subscribe if you haven't already.
So maybe just for the people who don't know exactly what that means, can you just give a little bit of context on when did you start taking this seriously? What do you need to earn money from YouTube? Just to quickly, some context.
So started years ago. Started seriously in the end of January 2020. So it's been almost 2 years. I've been posting 3 videos a week for the most part. I've missed a couple of days here and there because I was spending time with family or because I was ill or whatever, but pretty much 3 videos a week. And to be able to be monetized,
That's about 300 videos in 2 years.
It's a lot. And in order to be monetized, so to earn money from YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So I got my 4,000 watch hours ages ago. I think I'm at like 10,000 now or something. But the thing was subscribers. So some of my videos, I think one of my top ones got 37,000 views, which is insane. Another one's got about 34,000. So I'm getting views on my videos, just people weren't necessarily subscribing. But whilst we were in Oxapampa, I hit 1,000, and I was literally sat there connecting my internet from my phone onto my laptop to try and monetize my videos. And I was like, I can't waste 3 weeks of video, like monetization. So yeah, I'm now going to be earning money every month. I think it's going to vary. It varies from day to day. I've been looking at the stats and it'll vary from month to month. But it should, I mean, I'm quite happy with what I've earned so far this month for the first month. And I'm hoping it'll only get higher and higher because the more videos you produce and the more people that find you and watch your videos and subscribe, and it's mostly about watch hours now. So the more people that watch your videos for a long amount of time, the more money you would earn. So it was interesting. You asked me how much I think I'd be earning next December.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. Like, I have no idea because it's taken me 2 years to get monetized. I have no idea if it's going to grow, like, maybe double in a year, or if it's going to
be exponential
10 times, or, you know, I have no idea how much it's going to grow. So it'll be super interesting. But I'm going to be documenting it on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing a video about, like, how much I've earned in the first month, maybe then 6 months and a year. I don't know. We'll see. But it's exciting because it's been so much hard work. I cried, didn't I?
Yeah.
When I found out. Because
well, I don't think people see. Well, it's not, I know people don't see how much it takes. It looks easy to just put videos on YouTube, but like I said, like 3 videos a week is a lot. And also when people watch a 15 to 30 minutes video, that's actually pretty much a full day of work.
Well, so typically if I have an hour of content, it's probably going to be a 35, 40-minute video because I have to chop out, you know, all the ums and ahs and the blank spaces and the car driving past that's really loud or whatever. So,
and also putting images on top or videos on top.
Yeah, and the
or
music
stuff like
and description and all the rest of it. So it's a lot. It's more work than I thought it was, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, but also the editing. Like if you have an hour of content and you can make a 30-minute video of that, but this editing is going to take you hours.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
Plus
Yeah.
writing the description and a keyword. Like, yeah, it's not just filming a video on your phone, putting publish, and I don't think a lot of people realize how much work and hours it takes to produce this content. Now, it's way harder than doing the podcast, to be honest. I mean, I only do, we only do 1 episode a week on a podcast. But in terms of time, like we record, I listen to it once, I chop stuff here and there. But I pretty much listen to the conversation once, which take me, the length of the conversation. And then I write the thing, and it's not a crazy amount of work compared to the video editing side of things that you have to go through, especially when you decide to produce 3 videos a week.
I love it though, and I think the thing I love as well is that I'm doing it for me. And like, yes, certain videos have done better and they've gotten more views, or like, certain information might be useful to other people. So we did like a watch this before traveling to Lima video, which is hopefully full of lots of information for people traveling to Lima, but then the vlogs is mostly for me to remember, honestly. And I love watching my old videos, don't I? I'll just sit sometimes and watch an old video and be like, oh, well, that was a fun day. So I'm doing it for me to be able to remember our travels and remember because I have such a bad memory, to remember our life and everything. But it's brilliant that people are watching, and now there's somebody from Peru as well who's liking all my videos and commenting on them all and like giving me information about Peru, and it's just such a nice way to connect with people and to share our
yoga
story.
classes as well has been doing well.
Yeah, I haven't done yoga classes for about 2 months.
Your bed yoga.
Bed yoga was getting some views. So, I know it's been brilliant. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next year with it, like how much I'll be earning, how many subscribers I'll have. Like, I have no idea.
On another note, we'll record a podcast episode about the podcast for the 2 years anniversary probably, but this is episode 97. That means Just Interesting People has been going on for 97 weeks because we didn't miss a week. Getting close to 100 and getting close to 2 years, which will be episode 104 technically. It's 52 weeks per year. And we reached 30,000 downloads a few weeks ago. We are like 31 something now. So like the podcast doubled compared to 2020. We had more than twice the amount of downloads. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you to all the new listeners that found us this year in 2021, and we hope you enjoy it. We started to record episodes in Peru. We published one already with Walter last week, and we have one coming next week with Bresley, who was our host in Oxapampa. And this is I feel in a way like this is the beginning of maybe a new beginning, because, when we had the original idea, it was to record conversations with people that we meet while we travel and everything. And I mean, yeah, Miami was part of traveling. We met a lot of people there, but it's also interesting to record like more like on the road and stuff like that. And we only did 2 so far. I've got a few people that I need to follow up with to record. But yeah, it's just interesting. You meet someone for a few hours doing a tour or for a bus ride or whatever, and you talk and you can, feel that those people have stories once again, and it'll be cool to just put it out there. So yeah, I'm really excited about 2022 for the podcasts. I didn't write down any goals yet. I will. My goal for 2021 was I wanted to triple the podcast. In 2020, we had about 10,000 downloads. I wanted to bring it to like 40,000. We reached like 31 or 32. So
It's good
not
going.
there, but it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about it. I'll set up another high goal this time and we'll see. Yeah, but we'll do a more lengthy episode about stuff that we have in mind, about surprises that are coming up on the podcast. We had our first donation.
Yeah.
That was exciting, to be honest. Someone actually, so we have this page online called Buy Me a Coffee. It's like Patreon, just another competitor. And you can do like one-time donation. And I created this page, but I didn't really advertise it. It's on a website. There's a button, support us. If you go to justinterestingpeople.com, there's a support us button, and you can donate if you find any value in our podcast. But yeah, I haven't really talked about it yet. I will in 2022. But yeah, someone just listened to an episode. I think it's the mother of a guest, and she enjoyed it, and she just made a donation of $5, and I was really happy about it.
Super exciting, wasn't it?
It's just nice to just that someone appreciated what we created, and they thought that it would be good to say thank you and give us a little thing. It was just really, really nice. Came out of nowhere when in a small hotel room in Barcelona, just starting our trip. I was like, oh my god, we just got $5. Yeah, I've never been so happy to get $5, honestly. So thank you so much for that. That was really, really appreciated. And like I've said, I mean, I'm not doing this podcast for the money, but if we could make money with the podcast, that would make me really happy, because that would mean that people find value in what we do, the stories that we share. And yeah, if people are okay to contribute and help us out, this money would go into equipment, into longer travels, would mean meeting new people and also more diverse people and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be amazing, and yeah, just made us very happy.
Yeah.
Highlight of 2021, 1 or 2 for you?
Oh, the boat trip, the boat party. That was so much fun. And then spending so much time with my parents and my grandma, especially.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I know. It's going to make me cry. Yeah, just seeing her and spending time with her, because she's probably not got long left, and she always says she misses me, and it's just so lovely just to give her a kiss and a cuddle in the morning and sit with her and talk to her about her life and look through her photographs, and
Yeah.
she's cute.
Main lesson you've learned this year?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. Don't spend 6 weeks with the in-laws. Am I allowed to say that?
And you want me to go back to England to spend 6 weeks with yours?
You can put up with mine, though, you've said.
Kidding.
Jeremy can deal with mine, I can't deal with his.
I'm kidding.
No, lessons. I think the biggest one has been, like you said, to live life. And I mean, we keep getting this reminder, things happen, and we keep getting the reminder of you just got to live life when you can. And another thing is that you make plans, but they always change. So, like, the amount of times we've made plans where it's big or small, we're going to have a baby 4 times, it's not happened, or we're going to go travelling, or okay, it was 2 months delayed, or I don't know. I think just live life, try and do as much as you want to do, like fun stuff, really enjoy it. But then also I've learned that being with family is important, and like being there for them and spending time with them, it's really important to me. So what about you? Highlight?
highlight. It's a sad highlight, but leaving my job. Like, I was sad. It was also a choice, but I knew it was the beginning of something new. But yeah, I remember the last day. I had like a Zoom call with like everyone and just chat for I don't know how many hours and had a beer, and closing the laptop one last time was like, it was weird. It's been like 6 or 7 years, so that's clearly a highlight. And also all the consequences behind this action. Like, closing the laptop was like closing the Miami chapter. Like, it was a huge thing. It wasn't just leaving a job and stuff like that. The other one was the Dragons being in the final. Clearly.
That's his rugby team.
Yeah, so I follow rugby league, which is the rugby that you probably don't see much on TV if you're in France or in England. It's the famous one in Australia. And the team I support, I've been supporting for more than a decade now, since they were created. The Catalan Dragons reached the final of the league for the first time, and we went to the final. We lost, but the semi-final was exciting. I watched it on TV in Rosie's house, and at the end I was crying like a baby in front of the laptop. I was so happy. And yeah, even if we lost, that was a highlight, clearly, because it's been something that I've been following for so many years and stuff like that. It's just part of my life, and that was freaking cool. And with all the downs also that I had this year, that was a nice
That was a good
spark
one.
of joy in the middle of this mess, to be honest. Yeah,
Big obsessions.
Yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, and like you said, like, it sounds so cliche, like, because I've heard it so many times on, Instagram influencer stuff. But like, life is now, and life it might be next year, but it might also not be, or it might be extremely different. And all the reminders that I keep getting for the past 4 years, I don't believe in universe shit. But if someone is trying to tell me something, he's doing a good job at it, because it's been going on for 4 or 5 years now, all those things that the messages I keep receiving. And it's like, I get it now, I think. Yeah, something we didn't talk about that I forgot is about, even like traveling with COVID. Like, something that I did after spending 2 weeks in Oxapampa and being disconnected was just unfollowing everyone on Instagram. Sorry, it's not personal, guys. I still love everyone. But I didn't want to waste time scrolling. And also I deleted all my news app because I was sick of, well, first, being in this place made me realize how life can be easy and that we make life difficult. A lot of things that are stressful and complicated in life are created by us and are actually choices that we make. And
this was in Oxapampa where we didn't have internet connection. We had very basic food and water,
and life was really relaxed. I was feeling really good. And there's so many external factors that we bring pretty much purposely to our lives that cause a lot of stress, and then we complain about the stress, just remove the source, stuff like that. That's it. So I just got rid of all this news and stuff like that because I was just tired of it. And one of them being fucking COVID, to be honest. And like, I'm not like, it's fake, stuff like that. I'm vaccinated and stuff, and I'm being careful. I wear a mask, whatever. But I also think there's a lot of overreaction. I also think that a lot of people are wasting years of their lives. It's a choice. I mean, it's fine. Like, if you're happy with it, you're happy with it. Just don't complain. That's kind of my thing. Because it's a choice. We decided to go traveling, and we're okay. Like, you can travel if you want to, and you can visit places. You can meet people. You just have to be aware that things are going on. You might have to be a little bit more careful with a few things than you would be in normal time. But yeah, I feel like I think we all know that, but like the media and stuff just create a lot of fear, and I don't think the whole thing is fully justified. And I don't know, whatever. It's not about. I choose personally to live my life, and rather than being stuck somewhere for I don't know how long, because at the beginning we thought it was going to be 3 months and then 6 and 1 year, and it's been pretty much 2 years now, and it doesn't seem to be getting better from the little bit of news I got recently. So I'm happy to be living my life in Peru right now.
It's interesting because I've not been reading the news for years.
Yeah.
I stopped years and years ago. I don't know, like 6 years ago. I remember people were like, why don't you read the news? And like thinking I was an idiot for like being so ignorant, I guess. But I just don't see, even without COVID stuff, I don't see how knowing that somebody killed someone and this happened and that happened is going to help me in my life. It doesn't at all. So I've stopped reading the news anyway. But I think the COVID thing, the thing I've learnt with COVID is that everyone just needs to do whatever they're happy with. And I don't think there's any right or wrong. I think if you want to go travelling, go travelling. If you want to stay at home, stay at home. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't, then don't. And like, I just think people have just got to have their own level of responsibility and stop trying to judge or influence
and
convince or make people feel bad about whatever it is about their decisions. Like us coming travelling, people think we're batshit crazy. Other people think it's fine and it's amazing. Or like people getting vaccinated, like we're vaccinated. People think that's batshit crazy because we're being controlled by the government and it's all a whatever, like conspiracy. And other people think it's the most safe thing you can do. And like, I just think with COVID, you just got to do whatever you're comfortable with and accept what other people are comfortable with, and that's it. Like,
yeah, you do you, and live your life. I live my life, and it doesn't mean we can't be friends or anything anyway.
But in terms of travelling, it's actually been fine. Like, it's been so interesting because Peru, you have to wear a mask outside. Every single person wears a mask outside. And then sometimes you might be asked to wear 2 masks inside, and there's also hand sanitizer. Sometimes they check your temperature, they check vaccines. So it varies from city to city. We found in Peru, we've only been here obviously, so it changes depending on the city. It depends on the shop or the restaurant you're going to. So it does all change, but it's been fine. It's just, okay, we wear a mask and we use hand sanitizer more than we would do otherwise. Yeah. But like, it's not been scary, it's not been bad, it's not been, we've not had COVID, we've not been in hospital, we've not been like, I just think if you're going to be careful anywhere, you can be careful anywhere. Like if you're going to be careful at home, you can be careful in Peru or wherever else you want to go.
Yeah, and if you don't want to be careful, whatever you are, you won't be careful anyway. So you might as well be wherever you want to be, rather than being forced to be in a place where you don't want to be.
But it has been interesting to see that compared to the US, where in Miami we had like 3 months of lockdown and then everything was back to normal, big parties and things without masks. And then France and England have had their own things in terms of like restrictions and quarantining and social distancing and all the rest of it. And I think now you don't need to wear masks. Maybe you do now, I'm not sure. But it's been interesting to come here thinking that because it's maybe a country that's not as developed, it would be worse.
Yeah, no.
It's actually been a lot safer.
Maybe
the safest place, I'd say.
The more strict as well.
Yeah.
So that was the last thing I wanted to mention that we didn't talk about before. 2021 has been eventful.
Lots of ups and downs.
Lots of ups and downs on a global scale, but also very personal shit happening to us. And we are, at the moment we are where we wanted to be. It just took a little bit longer than expected. I'm not sure what 2022 is going to be like, because like we said, we might have to go back to England. Maybe by the time listening, we are in England already, who knows. But I feel it's not going to be as smooth as we thought it would be.
Life never is, Jeremy.
We're just going to have to deal with it and make the best out of whatever is going to come.
But you say we might have to go back to England. It would be a choice.
Yeah.
It would be we're choosing to go back. And, we don't have to do anything.
No.
But it would just be more to support my family and...
No, we don't have to, but we will make... It's a decision that we will make. It's not the first thing that we wanted to do. That's what I mean. No, but there are more important things than traveling. You need to navigate life.
Yeah. So have you got any goals for 2022?
Honestly, no, I didn't think about it yet. And maybe I was going to think about it this week, but I think I'll just pass because...
But it's quite nice not to think of that new year, new me thing, new resolutions.
I'm not a big fan of that anyway.
This is the year we're going to do this thing. Like, no, now is the thing to do this thing and not wait till January.
No, I mean, the only goal, if I have one, is the same than I had in mind for the past 2 years. It's at the end of 2022, I would like to... I didn't put a number on it, but I would like to... I would like us to be nearly financially independent. Maybe not in Miami standards, but in some countries where we can live. I know things take longer than expected. That's my main goal. Just grow all the things that we are working on. That's my main thing, to be honest. I'm not really worried about anything else.
Same. I think growing my YouTube is my main. That's my main.
Goal.
Yeah, goal, but
Objective.
also I mean, obviously traveling, but like no matter what we do, it'll be YouTube. Whether we go back home for 3 years, or whether we travel for 3 years, or whether we whatever. Either way, it's going to be creating YouTube content because I enjoy it. I think I enjoy the creative process. I enjoy making something, and I enjoy making 3 times a week, making this thing that people are going to watch and take value from, whether it's entertaining or it's funny or it's informative or whatever, and also having these memories for us. So growing my YouTube, growing my subscriber following and money, and I have no idea what that means. How many that'll be, I have no idea, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Today is the 28th of December, just for the ID. But we hope 2021 was good for you. We hope 2022 will be better. Podcast is going to carry on every week. Rosie is going to carry on YouTube. So if you want to see our cutie faces once in a while, hop on the YouTube channel. You can see our faces. If you just like our voices, keep listening there.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a wonderful holidays, and we'll be back next week as usual with a brand new episode.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy New Year. Let's bring on 2022.
Bye.
Okay, so that's the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed us talking about 2021, about what we've been up to, and also our plans for 2022. Obviously, like we said, it's been a very up and down year, but hasn't it for everyone? I'm sure it has been. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up down below. That really helps us out. Make sure you subscribe for more of our videos. We are travelling at the moment. Don't know how long we're going to be travelling for with everything going on, like I said, with my dad. But for the moment, there's still some videos to come. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.